looking around like, I think
Now,
I got it.
our next step is to reduce the fraction. So we can divide both numbers by 3. 39 divided by 3 is 13. 99 divided by 3 is 33. So the answer is 13 over 33.
So we got 8.
Try this one. 4.36 repeated.
How much fun you guys having, Bryce?
Go ahead and work on it.
It'd be funner if one of our starters wasn't on the beach.
So the 4 is not repeated. Only the 3/6 part is
It's been a
repeated.
blast, man. It's been so much fun. I mean,
But what you want to do is you want to break this up into 2 parts. That is 4 plus 0.36 repeated.
It's been a while since you played in one of these.
Yeah, a couple years getting hurt and things like that.
In the next line, we can rewrite the 4, but 0.36, we can write that as 36 over 99.
Everybody, man, it's been a lot of fun.
Now, 36 is 9 times 4, and 99 is 9 times 11. So thus we could cancel the 9, and this will give us 4 plus 4 over 11. So our answer as a mixed number is 4 and 4/11. Now, if you want to convert that into an improper fraction, you need to multiply 4 by 11, which is 44, and then add 4 to it, which will give you 48. And so that's a quick way to to convert a mixed number into an improper fraction. So we can write our answer like this, 48 over 11, or 4 and 4/11. Let's try a similar example. 5.27 repeated. So go ahead and pause the video and work on that problem. So I'm going to write this as 5 plus 0.27 repeated, and then we can convert 0.27 repeated into 27 over 99. Now 27 is 9 times 3, 99 is 9 times 11. So canceling the 9, what we have is 5 plus 3 over 11, which gives us the following mixed number. And to convert that to an improper fraction, first let's write the denominator, and then it's going to be 5 times 11, which is 55, plus 3, and so that's 58. And so that's it for that problem. Now here's another one. What if we had 0.83, but only the 3 is repeated? How can we convert this decimal number into a fraction?
It's just incredible.
What do you think? So if I were to expand it, I have 0.833333, and it continues forever. So the 3 is the repeating part, the 8 is not. So what you want to do is, you want to start with this number and subtract it by the repeating part, which is 0.333333. And so you're going to get 0.5. Thus, we can represent 0.83 repeated as being 0.5 plus 0.3 repeated. Once you see that, once you write it this way, now it gets easier. So 0.5, we need to convert that to a fraction. If you multiply the top and bottom by 10, this will give you 5 over 10, which you could reduce that. 10 is basically 5 times 2, and 5 is the same as 5 times 1. So the 5's cancel, and you get 1/2. So 0.5 is just 1 over 2. And 0.3 repeated, we know it's 1 over 3. And so what we need to do is add these two fractions. In order to add the two fractions, we need to get common denominators. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2 over 2, and the first one by 3 over 3. And so on the left, I'm going to get 3 times 1, which is 3, and 3 times 2, which is 6. On the right, 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6. So now that I have like denominators, I can now add the numerators of the two fractions. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and I get 5 over 6. which is the answer. So 5 over 6 is equal to 0.83 repeated.
Another one in the plus column with a punch out.
Now let's move on to another example. So let's work on 0.52 repeated. Go ahead and take a minute to work on it.
Really? We're in an all-star game.
So this is 0.5 with the 2's repeated. So I need to subtract the original number by the repeated decimal, which is 0.222222. So all of the 2's will cancel, as you can see here. And what I have left over is 0.5 minus 0.2, which gives me 0.3. And so I could say that 0.52 repeated is the sum of 0.3, that's the non-repeating part, plus 0.2 repeated.
3.6 miles an hour, is that
now,
right?
0.3, based on the first examples that we went over, if we multiply by 10 over 10, this will give us 3 over 10. 0.2 repeated is 2 over 9. And so we need to combine these two fractions. So I'm going to multiply 2 over 9 by 10 over 10 and 3 over 10 by 9 over 9. And this will give me common denominators. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 10 is 90. 2 times 10 is 20. 9 times 10 is 90 as well. So now that these numbers are the same, I can add 27 and 20, which gives me 47. And so this is the answer. It's 47 over 90. So that's 0.52 repeated. Now here's another example. 4.915. So this time, only the 1/5 part is repeated. So go ahead and try that. This one involves more steps, so to speak. Well, let's begin by expanding the numbers. So this is 4.915, and then the 1/5 will continue to repeat. Now, what should we subtract this number by? Should we subtract it by 0.15 repeated or 0.51 repeated? What would you say? Which one is it? Well, let's find out. So what I'm going to do is write the numbers from right to left. So since I have a 5 here, this needs to be a 5. And so they have to match. Now after a 1 comes a 5. So technically, I need to subtract it by 0.51 and not 0.15. So I want the 1's and 5's here to cancel. And so what I'm doing now is subtracting 4.9 by 0.5, which will give me 4.4. So I could say my original expression, 4.915 repeated, is the sum of 4.4 plus this number here, which it starts with the 0.5, so that's 0.51 repeated, as opposed to 0.15 repeated. And so watch out for that, because sometimes those numbers may switch on you, and so you have to be careful. Now, 4.4, I'm going to write it as 4 plus 0.4. So I have 3 things I need to deal with in this example. So let's make some more space. Let's get rid of this stuff on the top. So what I now have is 4 plus, now 0.4 repeated, we can write that as 4 over 10 if I multiply 0.4 by 10 over 10. And 0.51 repeated, that's going to be 51 over 99.
The all-star debut of Ellie De La Cruz. He shoots one into center
now,
field.
4 over 10, that's basically 4, you can write that as 2 times 2. 10 is 2 times 5. And so we can cancel the 2. 51 is 17 times 3. And 99 is 33 times 3. So we can cancel the 3. And so right now I have 4 plus 2 over 5 plus 17 over 33.
For the second time. And he's got an opposite field base hit. Reynolds doesn't wait around. None of these hitters.
So now I'm going to
very
focus on
aggressive
adding
against Lugo.
these two
Cruz
fractions.
at second, Reynolds at first, the tying run.
Now I'm going to multiply this one by 5 over 5
Good fastball
and
up.
2 over
A lot of
5
breaking
by
balls, a lot of balls
33
that spin,
over
but he gets the
33.
fastball above the barrel.
So this will give
And
me
this
a
guy at the
common
plate
denominator
has
because as you can see,
single-handedly
these two are
kept
the same.
Braves offense afloat. What a year he's
And so this is going to
already
be
in the
4
first half.
plus,
Has been thrilled watching
now
him all
32,
season. He's
excuse me,
had
33 times 2 rather, that's 66. And 33 times 5. 30 times 5 is 150. 3 times 5 is 15. 150 plus 15, that's 165. And here I have 17 times 5. 10 times 5 is 50. 7 times 5 is 35. 50 plus 35 is 85. So now we can add 85 plus 66. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry over the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus 6, that's 15. So right now I have 4 plus 151 over 165. So the answer as a mixed number is 4 and 151 over 165. Now let's convert our answer into an improper fraction, just in case we needed to. So first, we need to rewrite the denominator. This is not going to change. Next, we need to multiply 4 by 165, which is 660, and then add 151 to it. So 660 plus 151, that's 800. And so this is the answer as an improper fraction. And that's basically it for this video. So now you know how to convert a decimal number into a fraction or into a mixed number. Thanks for watching.
You also realize just how hard it is to come in off the bench. It's a tall order to try to pinch hit.
In this video, we're going to talk about how to convert fractions to decimals. So let's start with this example. We have 3 over 5. How do we convert this into a decimal value? Well, we need to do division. We need to divide 3 by 5. So it's going to look like this. Now 5 doesn't go into 3. So what we need to do is add a 0 and a decimal point. And we're going to treat 3.0 as if it's 30. So how many times does 5 go into 30? 5 goes into 30 6 times. We know 5 times 6 is 30. But this is actually 3.0. So 5 times 0.6 is 3.0. We need to put the decimal point directly above it.
Former All-Star Game MVP.
So if we multiply 5 and 6, we get 30. Or 5 times 0.6, that's 3.0.
And Michael
this gives us a difference of 0, which means we can stop.
MVP
Our answer is what we see
Michael, you want to do the honors? It's Jaron
on top right here.
from the Red Sox.
So 3 over 5 is equal to 0.6 as a decimal.
What are you going to do with that? I mean, that's going to look
now
nice.
Let's work on some other examples.
Yeah, I'll probably end up giving it to my dad, and he'll put it in a nice place for me to hold for the
Let's
season.
try 9.
What did this mean
over
for you
20.
this whole weekend? Just to get to be here as an All-Star for the first time.
If you want to pause the video to work on this example, feel free to do so.
Honestly, I can't really put it into words right now.
So we have a 20 on the outside,
emotions, but,
a 9 on the
I'm just
inside.
very thankful to be here and to represent the Red Sox is a
Now
is
20
a big
doesn't
honor.
go into 9.
Take us into the
So we
mindset
need
of
to
the
add
at-bat, right?
a
You know
0
you get
and
an
a
at-bat,
decimal
maybe
point.
2 in an All-Star game.
Now let's
What's your
treat
approach going to the
9.0
plate, and when you
as if it's
connected,
90.
what are you
How many
thinking
times
watching
does
it go?
20 go into 90?
I mean, I know
Well,
it
if
throws
we make
really
a
hard,
list,
so I was like, all right, I'm hoping he throws
we
really
have
fast
20,
for first pitch so I can see
40,
how hard it is.
60,
And then
80,
he just gave me a pitch to
100,
put a good
and
swing
so
on
forth.
it. That's probably the first pitch I've ever pimped in my life, and I was just trying to soak it all in.
100 exceeds 90.
It was a surreal moment.
80 is the
You got the
highest
game-winning home
multiple
run in an All-Star game.
of
When
20,
you sit down on the
but
plate
below
and go
90.
home, what will you take in from this whole experience?
So 20 goes into
Probably hanging out
94
with those guys in the
times.
clubhouse, man. There's so
20
many good guys
times
in that
4
clubhouse.
is
I mean,
80.
there's guys that are
Let's
supposed
not
to be
forget
our
the
rivals in
decimal
our
point.
division, but there's such awesome guys. It's going to be hard
90
to play
minus
against them
80
coming
is
up
10,
because they're
or
such
9 minus
good
8
guys,
is
and
1.
it's going to be super fun.
Now, we're going to treat this as if it's a 10. How many times does 20 go into 10?
That's true.
It doesn't, so we need to add another 0. So now we're going to treat this as if it's 100. How many times does 20 go into 100? 20 goes into 100 5 times. And so this is our final answer, 0.45.
That's way back.
So we could say that 9 over 20 is equal to 0.45 as a decimal. Now let's try another example. Let's convert this fraction into a decimal. 4 over 25. Feel free to pause the video if you want to try it.
Tyrone Taylor. It's a 2-run homer, and the Brewers
Now,
have a
25
3-0
doesn't go
lead.
into 4, so we need to add a 0.
Well, Taylor just stayed back
Now, how
on
many
this
times does
pitch.
25 go into 4?
And, you know, he's in that
If you're not
lineup
sure, you
because
can
he
make a
has
list.
that power. It's
If
something
we
that's
write
kind of
the multiples
developed
of
later in
25,
his
it's gonna be
career.
25,
And he did so in a couple
50,
of ways.
75,
That's drilled right
100,
field. Well struck.
and so forth.
That one way back. That one's on its way and gone. Corbin
The highest
Carroll with a
multiple of
2-run
25
homer,
under
and the
40
Diamondbacks
is
are
just
within
25,
1.
so it goes into
So Burns says, all
one
right, let me
time.
try to throw the changeup.
25
And he's
times 1
sitting
is
on it
25.
and able to take it way
And let's
out.
not
And
forget
that
the
is a
decimal
hard
here.
thing to do against Corbin Burns.
Now, 40 minus
This one
25,
drilled right
that's
field.
going to be
That's
15.
back. That's got a chance. That's gone. Marte
Now, 25 does go into
deep.
15, so we
Back-to-back
need to
homers for the
bring down a 0.
Diamondbacks, and just
So we're going to
like
treat
that,
1.50 as
it's
if it's
3-3.
150. So we can
I
add
mean,
a few
quick
more
strike. And we
numbers.
mentioned earlier, home
And we can
runs
see that.
are king. But home runs are
25
not
goes into
prototypical of
150
these two
exactly
teams. It's
6
not their
times.
style.
Right-hand hitter climbs back in. Burns ready. Swing and a high fly ball.
Giving us
Well
a
struck
remainder
out
of 0.
towards left center field. That one on its
So
way.
our answer
and gone.
is what we
Over
see
the
here,
bullpen.
0.60.
Moreno, a solo homer,
So 4
and the
over
Diamondbacks
25
have
is
the lead.
equivalent
It's
to
4-3.
0.16.
And Moreno just stays
As a
back. Look
decimal.
at this. The ball just didn't do anything. He got it up in the zone. It flattened
Now,
out.
let's move on to our next
And his
example.
head position is impeccable. It gets under that ball with some serious launch angle.
Here's Royce Lewis, who got a great hand as he came to the plate. Does not go.
Try this
And now when he's
7
drilled deep to
over 8.
left field, going back Varsho, turning, looking, see ya. A 2-run home run
So we
for
have an 8
Lewis.
on the outside,
And
a
just
7
like
on the
that,
inside.
the Twins are up 2-0.
So 8 doesn't go into 7.
And the magical
Thus, we're going to add a 0. How many
run
times does 8 go
continues.
into 7?
Fastball,
Well, let's find out.
mid-90s.
Let's write
Beats him to the
all the
spot.
multiples of 8. So we have 8,
Alligator arms,
16,
nice and tight.
24,
Lewis electrified the crowd with a
32,
2-run home run in the first inning off of Goldman.
48,
High fly
56,
ball,
64,
right field and deep. Springer
72,
back,
8.
turning, looking,
And
see ya. He's done it again. Back-to-back home
Write
runs
out
for
the
Lewis.
numbers that
And it's
correspond
3-0 Twins.
The number
The
one
highest
pick
multiple
for a
of
reason.
8, just
This
under
time a
70.
fastball
is
stays
64.
inside of it, and he told us
8
today,
times 8 is
I had a great night of sleep. I
So
woke
8
up and I
goes
came
into
ready
70.
to play.
An
8
infield
times.
hit.
8 times 8 is 64.
This one hit in the air right
And
field.
let's
This
add
one
the
back.
decimal. Let's make sure
And
it's lined
Taylor
up.
isn't able to get it, and that
70
one is gone.
minus 64 is 6.
Just got over the fence, and Alec
Now, 8
Thomas
doesn't go into 6. so we
pulls
need to
one
bring
over
down
the
0.
wall. The first hit
Now, how
of
many
the game
times
for
does
the
8 go into
Diamondbacks,
60?
and it leaves the,
The
park.
highest multiple
And
of 8
Arizona within 1.
below
Realmuto
60
doubled his
is
first time up.
56.
The Phillies have
And
doubled
8
we haven't seen the
goes
homer.
into
The double
60
6 of them between
7
last
times.
night and tonight. That
8
ball
times
is
7
drilled, and forget it.
is
A back
56.
drop by Realmuto.
So let's put that
3-0
here.
Philadelphia.
And we're going to keep the decimal
No
point
doubt
where it
about
was.
it. Shot.
Now,
Doubling a
16
homer
minus
tonight for
56,
JT.
that's
You
4.
get this guy going. This
So now
is a
we need to bring
dangerous
another
team.
0
And
down.
now bring up
And
Bryson
treat this
Stott.
as
You get the
if it's
bases
40.
loaded. 1 out.
Infielders
We know
lead the
8
corners, and
goes into
Stott
40
drives one to
exactly
right.
5 times.
That's deep. That is gone. A grand slam for Stott. The
And we
break
get a remainder
just broke thanks to
0.
Bryson Stott's base clearing
So
granny.
this right here is our final
Kid
answer.
that last year struggled to hit the fastball.
7 over
Sees
8
the
is
first
exactly
95-mile-per-hour
0.875.
pitch and gives the Philly fan base a 7-run lead.
For the sake of
There's
practice,
a
let's
long
work on
fly
another
ball
one.
to left, way back.
Let's say we have
And
5 over
gone.
16.
First home run of
Go ahead
this
and try that.
series for either team.
So let's put the 16 on the outside,
with a bomb way back
the 5
into the left
on the
field
inside.
seats. And the Rangers lead 1-0.
Now 16 doesn't go into 5. So let's add a
This
0.
team really took off
How many times
offensively
does
when
16
Young
go into
and
50?
Garcia came off
So let's
into
write
the list
down
in September, and
multiples of
Jeff,
16.
he
We have
did not
16,
miss this one.
32, 48,
There's a drive to right
64,
off the bat of Evan
80,
Carter, and what a
96.
postseason
Just keep adding
he is
16.
having.
96 plus 16, that's
With Squarespace, you can do
112.
more than just build
And then
a website.
another 16,
You can
that
build a
becomes
business.
128,
Personal trainers and
144,
private chefs.
160.
Showcase your
Once you get to
signature
10,
offerings and
that's
experiences.
basically enough.
Makeup artists and music teachers schedule classes and appointments with ease. And then send weekly
Now, how many
newsletters
times
to
does
keep in touch
16
with your
go into
loyal
50?
customers. Done.
16 goes into 50
Squarespace
three
makes
times.
offering your
The highest
services simple.
multiple of 16
Get started
just
with
under
offer
50
code Make
is
It Real
48.
for 10% off your
So we're
website
going to
or
put a 3
domain.
here. Don't forget the decimal. 16 times 3 is 48. And 50 minus
The
48
21-year-old
is
rookie
2.
with a
So we get
two-run
0.2.
homer. And it is 4-0
Now let's add a 0.
Texas.
So
21
this
years old.
becomes
He's
20.
batted 6 times in this series. He's
16
reached
goes
base
into
each
20.
time.
We
One
saw the
time.
patience in the last at bat. He ended up walking.
16
This
times
one, he's
1
sitting
is
up
16.
and in and
And then
absolutely
20
crushes
minus
it.
16 is 4.
And that's
So we get
watched by
0.04.
Harper in a right. It is.
Now we're going to bring down another 0.
Bryce
This
Harper,
becomes 40.
the superstar,
16 goes into 40
putting the
2
Phillies
times.
up 2-0 here in the 6th.
16 times 2 is
His
32.
first homer of the
And
postseason.
40 minus 32 is 8. So 0.040
A
minus
laser shot
0.032
off
is going to
Strider.
be
2 of the
0.008.
game's best. And
Now let's add
Harper
another
wins
0.
that battle.
This becomes 80. 16
They go from
goes
Coulomb
into
to
80.
Webb. Josh
Exactly
Young
5
flies it to
times.
center field. Mullins is going back
So this is
on
where
the
it's
track
going to end.
at the
We're going to get a
wall. It's
remainder of 0.
gone. And the rookie
So we
out
know
of the
we're
8th
done with the
spot
problem.
goes deep to center field.
Does
Rangers
5
up
over 16 is
3-1.
equivalent
He
to
was the one of the
0.3125
Rangers rolling before
as
he
a
got
decimal.
hurt. Missed a long period of time.
Tied with the Twins for the most home runs in the AL this year.
Now, for the next example, what we have here is an improper fraction. So we're going to get a value greater than 1. Go ahead and try this problem.
That's just great extension.
So we're dividing
and
12
locked in
by
on that
5.
pitch.
5 goes
Another
into
guy
12.
that can get locked in
2
against
times.
right-handers is Gunnar
5
Henderson.
times 2 is 10.
After
12
28 during
minus
the
10
regular
is 2.
season, Santander hits
Now,
his
5
first
doesn't
of
go
the
into 2, so we're
postseason,
gonna
and
add a
it's a
decimal
3-2
point.
game.
Over deals to Altuve, who launches the first pitch. Deep to
So I'm just going to bring down the 0 and make this 2.0.
He's as good
So
as
we're going to
anybody
treat
on
this
the
as if
first
it's
pitch.
20.
He's as good as anybody in the
And let's
playoffs.
add a
He's as good
decimal
as
point here
anybody
as
in the
well.
first inning. Altuve
5 goes
makes
into
it
20
1-0
4
Astros,
times.
as he has so many times
5
before.
times 4 is 20, so 5 times 0.4 is 2.0. And we get a remainder of 0, so we can stop there. Therefore, 12 over 5 is equal to 2.4 as a
See
decimal.
the grip? It's up right down the middle.
Now, what about this
And
one? Let's
Alvarez
say
knew
you
it as
have
soon as he
2.
let the bat go.
Yeah, he did.
Go ahead and convert that
middle
into a
basically.
decimal.
A changeup. That's the wheelhouse of Yordan Alvarez. A powerful
So
swing.
we're dividing 2 by 3.
Polanco
3
lives
doesn't go
one
into
deep
2,
to
so
right
we need to add a
field,
decimal
and he
and a
just
0.
changed the complexion of
Now,
this
how many
game
times does 3 go
with
into
one
20?
very important
Well,
swing to the upper
let's
deck
write
in
the
Houston.
multiples
It's 5-3
of 3.
when they needed it most. One of their longest tenured twins
3
comes
times
up
10
clutch.
is 30, so I'm going to stop at 30.
Lewis lifts one now. Back to back go the Twins, and we've got a one-run game here in Game 1. His third
3
postseason
goes
home
into
run.
20 6 times.
And the Twins
18 is the highest
shocking the
multiple
Houston
of 3,
bullpen in the
just
7th.
under 20.
It's not the Bomba squad
So
of
this is
4
gonna be
years
3
ago,
times
but this
6,
team
and
can
18.
punch it.
And let's add a decimal point.
Alvarez
Now,
with a response.
20 minus
His
18 is
second
2.
of the game off the
So
pole.
2.0 minus 1.8 is 0.2. Now we need to add another
Not
0.
affected by
Notice that we get
left-handed
20
pitching.
again.
That's a
3
curveball.
goes
Doesn't
into
do much.
20 6
Alvarez
times.
clips it so far out front.
So that will be 3 times 6 is 18. This gives us 2 again. When we bring down the 0, we get a 20 again. 3 goes into 26 times. And that's going to be 0.018. And this is just going to keep repeating.
High fly ball to
So,
deep left
when
field.
you
Forget
see
about it. It's
This
gone.
repeating pattern,
A disastrous
you know what the answer is
start
going to be. This is going to be .66666.
Moreno hit only 7 during the regular season.
So instead of writing that way,
into that
simply
one.
write
5-0 D-backs, and every D-back who has faced Kershaw has delivered a hit, and they've all been hit hard.
On July 17th. The 6.
A high drive to deep right field.
So
this ball is gone, and I mean long gone. The minute it left the bat, you knew there was no way the ballpark would hold that one.
Let's work on
pound
more
for pound. Maybe the strongest player in the league is Corbin Carroll.
He's 5'10" and 165.
So
had 25 home runs during the regular season, threw in 10 triples.
11 on
this
the
is his second home run of the
18
postseason.
on the inside. We're dividing 18 by 11.
Here's a drive to deep right center field, and it was worth the wait for
now
Alec
let's write
Thomas.
the multiples of
He
11.
earned that one. Fouled
So
11 of them off
22,
before
33,
finding one that was completely
44,
to his liking
55.
and sending it out of here.
And we're going to go up to 10.
Similar to the home run
11
that
times
Corbin
10 is
Carroll
110.
hit. Got some friends in the front row.
1-2 pitch to Pham. Down the right field line toward the foul pole. Hayward in pursuit.
Now 11 goes
lunging
into 18
into the stands.
one time. 11 times
And does he
1
come
is
back
11.
with the ball?
18
He
minus
does
11
not.
is 7.
Home run.
Now 11 does not
well,
go
the
into
first
7,
three
so
homers tonight
we need to
for
add
the
a 0.
D-backs were blasted. This one sliced down the right field line over
So
the
we're
low
going to treat
wall
7.0
just inside the
as if
foul
it's 7.
pole to make it 11 to nothing, and it's a 4-hit night for Tommy Pham.
Yeah, what a night for Pham.
So
Jacob
11
Webb, who
goes
gave up a
into
home run to Josh
76
Young
times.
yesterday, comes in with the bases
11
loaded to
times
face
6 is
Mitch Garver.
66.
That ball is hit in the air to
70
deep left
minus
field.
66
Hayes going
is
back at
4.
the wall.
So
It's
7.0
gone.
minus 6.6
It's a grand
is 0.4.
slam. Mitch Garver
Now
breaks
it's added
it
0.
open for the
So this
Rangers,
becomes
who
40.
have 9 runs
11
over the
goes into
first
40
3
3
innings.
times.
The new wall couldn't stop this one.
So 11 times
and
3
up
is
in the
33.
zone and up and away.
And
It's 10
40
to 4
minus
as we go to the
33
bottom of
is
the
7.
5th. Henderson starting the 5th.
So now
And
it's at
hit it
11.
onto the moon. Wow, they won't
This
even
becomes
move.
70,
A
which is what we have
majestic
here.
blast.
11 goes
Gunnar
into 7.
Henderson's first postseason home
times.
run, and it's a 10-5 game. That pitch was right down the middle,
11
and
times
rarely
6 is
has
66.
Montgomery thrown a pitch right down the middle.
70
Another
minus 66
nice
gives us
feeling,
4.
even though you're down, for an Oriole hitter to get a home run, which they haven't
And
hit
we
many
need
in
to
the
add
last
0,
10 games.
which gives
Hicks,
us
who knocked
40.
in the first 2 runs for the Orioles. That feels like it was days ago.
Now 11 goes into 43 times. Notice that this is going to repeat again.
Not dead
So we
yet.
have that
Well, in the small victory department, they are
0.40.
racking them up.
11
They're
times
still
3,
down
that's
3,
going to
but
be
they got to
33.
look at the closer. They got to look at feeling better about scoring.
we're gonna get a
This is
7
a club that hadn't scored. That's got to feel a little
Which
bit better.
will bring us back here.
Swings and launches one. Out to left field.
So if you want to continue this
Alvarez
pattern,
turns.
it's going to be 6-3, 6-3,
Kyle
6-3.
Farmer has made it a
And that's
3-0 Minnesota
So we can write our
lead. Their
answer
third
as
home run of the series.
facing
1.63.
Farmer a bunch. He's
And
so
the
good
6
middle
and the
in.
3,
You have to
they're
pitch
both
him down and
repeated,
away.
So we're going to put a bar
Farmer got
over
a
those 2
ball.
numbers.
Looked like it was up and into me
So
right
that's the
there, and
answer.
he
18 over
is
11
so
is
good in there. He
1.63
loves to turn and burn on those balls.
Bregman's aboard for Alvarez, who lifts one to deep left center field.
In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to
Stevenson
add mixed
at
numbers
the
to whole
wall.
numbers, fractions, and other mixed
Another
numbers.
shot
So let's
for
begin.
Yordan Alvarez, his third of the
What is
series,
4
and the
plus
Astros
3
are finally on the
and
board
2
of the
fifths?
eighth.
This guy's
What's
unbelievable.
the answer?
Down 6-0.
This
All of a sudden,
is
the
the same
crowd's
as
kind of
4
back into it.
plus 3
The Astros are
plus
feeling a little
2.
bit in their dugout.
Phillies
So
with
what you
5
need to
hits
do
already.
is add the whole numbers
And that
first.
ball's hit
4
hard into
plus
right
3 is
center.
7.
Real
So right
Muto
now, we
will
have
watch
7
it fly.
plus 2 over
JT
5.
Real Muto.
7
a
plus 2
2-run
over 5 is the
blast.
same.
Real Muto's
as 7
second home
and
run
2
of this
fifths.
postseason.
I don't care how good of stuff you have.
is the
If you
answer
fall
to
behind in
this
the
problem.
counts like we've seen, here's a
Now
2-0
let's work
slider,
on a similar
and it's
example.
middle, and a good
Try this
hitter
one.
like JT
5
Real
plus
Muto
7
just drive. I mean, this
and
is
1/3.
exactly what you're supposed to do with that pitch.
So
Strikeouts.
7 and 1/3 is 7
That ball's hit well.
plus.
Darno.
That's it.
Deep left.
So we can add 5 and 7 together.
2-run home run.
So 5 and 7, that's going to be
It's a
12.
1-run game.
And so
As
12
Travis
plus
Darno
1/3
with a
is
lightning bolt
12
here in
and
the 7th inning.
And so it's very
Darno's one
straightforward.
guy in this lineup that has had success against Zach Wheeler.
For the sake of
And that
practice,
one
go
was
ahead
just
and
a
try
hang
these
and slurve,
examples.
111 off
3
the
plus
bat,
2
and
and
414.
3/5.
3 and 2.
5 plus 4
Here he
and
comes.
1/3.
Riley
And then
in
3,
the air to left
7 ninths
field. On the
plus
run, Marsh.
5.
There it goes.
So all you need to do is
Austin
add
Riley
3 and 2.
has given
3
the
plus 2
Braves
is
the
5. So
lead
this is
in the
going to be 5.
8th.
and 3/5.
As clutch
And this one, we're going to add 5 and 4. So 5 plus 4 is 9.
puts
So this is 9
up
and
5-4.
And then for the last example, we're going to add 3 and 5.
Ball. This one goes deeper to
3
right.
plus
Carroll
5 is
goes
8.
back.
So
He's
this
at
is
the
going to be
wall
8
with a
and
leap,
7.
and it's gone. That ball seemed to have almost
By the
a
way,
second
if you
life.
want more
So
examples on
Martinez
mixed
homers
numbers
on a
such
full
as
count, and Dodger
subtracting,
Stadium comes alive.
multiplying, or dividing
JD
mixed
has
numbers,
always had tremendous
check
power
out the
to right
description
field
section of this video.
and right center.
And so I'm going to post some links there where you can find other videos regarding mixed numbers.
He lifts one to deep left. Back goes Peralta, and
Now
he
for
will
our
watch it
next
leave the
different type of
yard.
problem, we're
And the
going to add a
D-backs are
mixed
back
number
up by 3.
with a fraction.
Gurriel having a big series again on
with
the
like
side of that ball. That looks more like a breaking
So
ball,
it's
not the
3
cutter
and
that
1/7
Lauren was
plus
talking about.
4
He went down and
seconds.
got it.
So first,
Tell you the
let's
kind of
expand
power
3 and 1/7.
that
We can write
Gurriel
that as 3
has.
plus 1 over 7.
Pitch to Abreu is launched to left
And then we
field.
can
That
add these
one's
2
gone.
fractions.
No
Notice that
doubt
the
about it.
denominator is the same.
Jose
So we
Abreu
can go
with
ahead
a
and add the
3-run
numerators
blast
of
in the
those 2
first
fractions.
and a 4-run
1
assault
over
on
7
Sonny
plus
Gray.
4 over 7
That got out quick.
is 5
That's the
over
breaking
7.
ball you just talked
So
about.
then the
He
answer's
is so
gonna be
good at
3
hitting that strike breaking
and
ball.
5 seconds.
Percent strikes from Christian Javier so far. Alex Bregman
Let's try
sends one
some
high and
example.
deep to left field. Ranging back is Wallner at the track.
5 and
He
3/8
leaps and it's gone.
plus 4
Alex
over 8.
Bregman able to lift
So this
one
is
just
5
over that
plus
left field wall.
3 over 8.
He's got
plus
the
4 over
homer,
8.
and Houston's got the
So let's
5-0
begin by
lead in the
adding these
5th
2
on Sonny
fractions.
Gray. 2 homers
3 plus
allowed
4 is 7.
by Sonny Gray today.
So we're going to have 5
Really
plus
cool
7
symmetrical
over 8,
moment today.
which this whole thing
Alvarez
is
hits
just
one
5
high to right field, pretty
and
well
7
struck.
minutes.
Back to the wall
that's
and
it for this
gone.
one.
This guy is on a different
So now it's your
planet
turn.
right now. Yordan Alvarez
these
with his
fractions.
4th
4
home
and
run
1/5
of the
plus
series.
2 over 5.
His second off Ober, and
And
it's
then
7-1.
7.
My goodness.
Don't
let's see,
pitch to
1 over
him. I
8
don't care what the
plus
situation is. It's
3
unbelievable.
over 8.
Look. Oh boy. Abreu
then
again. Another
2 over
one, and
9
this one to the upper deck.
plus 6
The route is on in game 3.
and 5 over 9.
He's making that upper deck
So all
seem
we
like
need to
it's
do in the first
not
example
that far
is
away.
add
This
1 over
place,
5
to
plus
get
2
it
over
into the
5,
upper deck, AJ,
which is
you
3
got to
over 5.
smack one.
So the answer is going to be 4 and 3/5.
He's hit 2 up there now, and
Now for this one, we need to
They
add
were-
1 over 8
they were both
and 3 over
touched.
8.
A World Series MVP.
So this is going to be 7 and 4/8. Now 4
Mike
over
Campbell
8,
here,
we can
Patriot
reduce that.
Software's founder.
If
I
we
have a
divide
huge
the
respect
4
for
and
small
8
business
by 4,
owners, especially the
4
smallest
divided
of
by
small
4 is
businesses.
1.
They do so
8 divided
much.
by 4
They're
is
under
2.
so much pressure and
So
stress.
4/8
They have
is
to
the
be
same as
experts
1/2.
in business
So
specialties
this
like
is the
payroll,
answer to
payroll
the problem.
taxes, bookkeeping,
And
and
for the last
accounting. It's
example, we can add
crazy.
2 over
That's why
9
we created Patriot
with
Software to
5
make
over
accounting
9.
and payroll
So
simple
2
for all
plus
size
5 is 7.
businesses, especially
So we get
smaller
6
businesses. Check us
and
out
7
at
ninths.
patriotsoftware.com.
Now let's focus on adding 2 mixed numbers.
Field,
So
forget
what's
about
4
it. Rangers
and 2
strike
over 9
first.
plus 3 and 5
Tone
over 9.
setter, tone set. First postseason
4
home run this year
and
for
2 over
senior.
9.
That was
We can expand it.
a strong man.
We can
Sitting
expand
in a
3
rocking
and
chair,
5
hitting a
over
home
9
run.
as 3 plus
And that's what makes him so
5
unique.
over
No
9.
stride, toe tap,
So now let's
just
add
so
the similar
strong.
terms.
Again, if he
first we
stayed
can add
healthier, he
4
would be
and
pushing
3.
harder for that MVP
And that
this
will give
year.
us 7.
Garcia gets up on top of that ball, hammers it to left field.
And then we can
What a
add
swing!
2 over 9
It's gone!
plus 5 over 9. And that's going to give us 7.
On this pitch right here, talked about
And
getting
so
it
our final
inside.
answer is going to be
They
7
wanted to get it up,
and 7
but that is
minutes.
not the place that it
So that's
absolutely
it
went
for
to. It was out
this
over the plate where he could get his hands.
Now
That
let's try another
location
7.
by a foot is the big difference
So 2 and
for
1/7
Garcia, and
plus
the
3
Rangers
and
do what they do.
2/7.
0 for 2 today.
So let's
1
do
for
the same
10 in this series.
expand
There's one getting
this
home run.
expression.
He finally finds it in a big way. Well, we were talking about him having a
So
hard
we can
time
add
getting the barrel of the bat to the ball, but we
plus 3
mentioned that
whole
15
numbers.
pitch at bat.
And that's
Maybe
gonna
that
give us
got him
5.
going a little bit.
And
Fastball
then
inner
let's add
half,
the
and
fractions
look
with
at
like
his hands and the
denominators.
timing, and
So
you
1
can
over
just
7
tell.
plus 2 over 7.
Finally,
Plus 3
batting
over 7.
practice puts on a
And so our
display.
final
In
answer
the
is
game,
5
they were beating him with
and
fastballs.
3 seconds.
One over the middle part of the plate.
Geraldo Perdomo starts it in the bottom of the 3rd.
Now go ahead and try
And
these
here's
examples.
Perdomo. Look
3
at this.
and 1/5
Hayward back at the
plus
fence. Can't
2
get it. Gone.
and
He hit only 6
3/5.
during the regular season, and he wasn't hitting at
And then
all
try
in this
4
postseason. But one
and
swing changed
accomplished all that.
Let's see.
10 home
1 of the
runs
9.
now for these
Plus
Diamondbacks
5.
in the postseason.
and
To Del
7 over.
Marte, if it's fair, and it is.
And then try
this ball
6
is way gone.
2 over 11.
Well, this is what you know about Lance
plus
Lynn.
4
He gives up
and
homers.
3 over 11.
You know, Marte in his first at bat, a
So
long
first we can
drive
add 3
to left center
and
field.
2 together.
That stayed in the ballpark.
3 plus 2
He
is
is
5.
so strong.
2 out, but
And
2
then we
in
can add
on a pair of solo
1 over
homers.
5
And here's Christian Walker.
plus
And
3
here's
over 5.
another shot to deep left.
And
Down
that's
the
gonna be
line and gone.
4 over
3
5.
solo
So this is
homers
the
in the
answer.
inning.
5.
Well, for the first time in this
And 4
series,
over
the
5.
Dodgers did not get hurt
Now,
in
let's
the
do the
first,
same
but
thing
they're
for the
getting
next
punished
example.
in the third. Christian
So let's
Walker
add
had been
4
0 for 6
and
with
5.
4 punch-outs
4
against
plus
Lynn
5 is 9.
until that moment.
And here's
And then we
Moreno.
can add
Has the
1
home
over
run
9
race, and then hits the next
plus
pitch
7
to the
over 9,
moon. There's your
which will
4th
give
home
us
run.
I've never seen
8 over
anything
9.
like this.
Nor have I.
You know
Now
how
for the
rare
third
it is
example, we
for
can say
a
6
hitter to hit a ball
plus
that's
4
a home run foul,
is 10.
and then on the next pitch hit it fair
And then
for
we
a
can
home
add
run.
2
But then
over
to hit
11
it after a
and
replay
3 over
review,
11, which will give us
Lewis hits it
5
high.
over 11.
Hits it deep to left.
And so
What a
that's it for
recovery.
that example.
1-0 Minnesota. Royce Lewis
Try
from
this
down
problem.
0-2
3
in the count.
and 5
Fouls away
over
a
8
1-2
plus
and hits his
2
4th home run of the
and 7
postseason.
over 8.
And they're back
Go
to
ahead and work on
life
that.
here at Target Field.
Well, here's some slug from the Twins.
So
the
first,
leadoff
let's
double
add
from
3
Julian, and then the
and
changeup.
2.
Royce
3
Lewis is
plus
out
2
front.
is 5.
Brantley hits one deep to right,
And then let's
turning
add
around is
5
Kepler,
over 8
trying to play it off the wall. He
and
won't
7,
get the chance. Michael
which is going to
Brantley, a professional hitter, as Dusty
So
Baker
notice that we
says,
can't leave
comes
our
up with a
ends like
big
this,
hit to tie this game at
because
1.
12
One thing about the Houston
is greater than
Astros,
8.
they've been
The
through
numerator
everything.
is
This
greater
team
than
has
the
been through
denominator, which
everything the
makes
last
this
6+
an
years.
improper
Michael
fraction.
Brantley, professional hitter, just
So what
doesn't
can we
miss.
do in this situation? Well, here's
In
something
the
that
air,
I
well
like.
struck right center. Looking back on it, and
5
that
and 12
is
eighths, we know it's
off the
5
top of the
plus
fence.
12.
Is it gone? It is.
And 12 over
Boy,
8,
that was
we can break that
crushed
down
by
into
Jose
8 plus
Abreu.
8
This time he goes the
and 4
opposite
plus 8.
field. He had
Because
2
8
pull
plus
to
4 is
left
12.
yesterday. He is
Now,
on
the good thing
fire
about
right
8 over
now.
8 is
His
you can make
3rd
that
and
a
2
whole number.
games in Minneapolis. And he puts
8
the
divided by
Astros on
8
top.
is 1.
3-1.
So we have 5
It's a big
plus 1
righty.
is
Don't forget
4
about
over
him.
8. Now, 5 plus 1 is 6.
Julian
And
lifts
4
one the
over
other
8,
way.
we
Well
can
struck
reduce
to
that
left.
to 1
Brantley
over
racing
2.
back at the
If you
wall.
divide
And
both of these numbers by 4.
comes up with his first playoff
And so the
home
final
run as a
answer
big
is
leaguer.
6.
It cuts the lead to 1 in the 6th.
And that's
Another changeup up. There's been
Let's
one
try
guy in this
another
Twins
similar
lineup that's
example.
really figured out Urquidy.
So
Julian.
4
He's on base, reached on base
and
3 times.
3/5
A double, a walk, and a home run.
3
Will
and
lead
4
things for the
fifths.
Phillies. And Castellanos
Go ahead and try
way
it.
back into left
So let's
field.
begin by adding 4
and we are tied
and 3.
just like that.
4 plus 3 is 7. And then we can add 3 over 5 plus 4 over 5, which is 7 over 5. So once again, we have an improper fraction.
First and
So
third
let's
now with
expand
2
the
outs,
expression
and
first.
Harper coming
So
up.
this is 7
And there's a
plus 7
high
over 5.
fly ball. Deep
Now,
right
7 over 5,
field.
I'm going to write that
Harper
as 5
watches it
over 5
fly.
plus 2
Well,
over
he's
5.
done it so many times in his
Because
career in the
these two will add up
postseason
to
and
7.
against this Atlanta Braves squad.
Now, 5
And it's a
divided
pitch,
by
another
5
pitch up in the
is
zone, a
1.
2-1
So I have 7
slider.
plus 1
110
plus
off the
2
bat,
over
408 feet in the second
So
deck.
now I can add these two numbers. 7
Harper,
plus 1.
high fly ball,
And so
center
that's
field.
gonna
He's
give me
watching. Harris
8
turns.
plus 2 over
Harris
5.
leaps.
And so my final answer is 8 and
Harper
2
with a
fifths.
rainmaker.
So
And
that
another
is it
stare
for
down.
this example.
7-1 Phillies. And it's
Go ahead
turned
and
into
try
the
these
Bryce
two.
Harper game.
3 and 5
Again.
over 9
A hanger,
plus
110
4
off the bat.
and 8 over
This
9.
one was high. I
And then
didn't know.
try
It was so high. And of course,
5
a second stare down from Bryce
and
Harper.
6
2
over
balls
7
and a strike.
plus
And Turner
2
in the air, deep into left field.
and 5 over 7.
Towering fly ball. Pilar at the wall.
So
It's
first I'm going to add
gone.
3 and a
A
4
wall
together.
scraper to left.
So 3 plus 4, that's 7.
Trey Turner
And then I'm going to add
makes
5
it
over 9
8-2 Phillies.
plus 8 over 9,
His first home run of
which
this
is
postseason.
13.
Trey Turner on a 2-1 count got
Now,
a
13
fastball.
over
His
9,
only
I'm gonna write
fastball
that
the
as
account.
9
106
over
off the
9
bat. Charlie, all
plus
he wanted
4
was people to hit balls.
is 9 plus 4 is 13.
In the air, deep left center
Now, we
field.
know that 9 over 9
Castellanos
is 1.
has another one.
So we're going to
For
have 7
Charlie.
plus 1 plus 4 over 9. And since I'm running out of space, I'm
His
going to work
son,
here. 7
loving it.
plus 1 is And so we have 8 plus 4 over 9,
Multi-homer games
which
for
will give us the
Harper
final
and
answer,
Castellanos.
8 and 4/9.
That ball's hit
So
well
that's
to
it
left
for the
field.
first example.
Marsh is
Now
watching
let's
this
move on
one
to the second example.
fly. Another
So
one
let's
is
begin
out
by
of
adding
here.
5 and 2. 5 plus 2 is 7.
Brandon Marsh
And
with
then
his
let's
third
add
hit of the game.
6 over 7.
The 6th home
with
run
5
for
over
the
7.
Fighting Phils.
So that's going to
And
give
it's
us
10 to 2.
over 7. And so let's expand this next fraction. So 7 plus 11 over 7. We're going to write it as 7 over 7.
He's got Riley 0-2.
And 4 over 7.
Riley turns out around
7
left
plus
field.
4 is 9.
That is
So
going to
make
get
sure
up
these
and
two
it bounces
add
out.
up to that.
Austin Riley, a solo
Now,
home
7
run
divided
here
by
in the
7 is
4th
1.
inning. Riley
So
puts
we
the
have this
Braves
as
in front. It just
So now
crept
let's add
over the
7
wall.
and 1
And
together.
Riley,
7
who hit
plus
a
1 is
huge
8.
home run in
So
game
we have
2,
8
delivers
and 4
with his
sevens.
second home
And
run of
that
the
is it.
postseason.
Other teams have scored all postseason. They've answered right
Now,
back.
Castellanos,
let's move on
deep
to
into left
another
field.
type of
It
example.
is a
So we're going to add 2 mixed numbers
home
here.
run.
No, it's going to be a little
That's
different
2
this
home
time.
runs last night for Castellanos.
So notice that
You heard Matt Weiner
the
earlier talk about
denominators
off-speed
of
pitches.
the
What
mixed
the
numbers are
Phillies were
different in
trying to
this example.
attack right here. First pitch slider that kind of spun. 108 off
So
the
what we're going
bat,
to do is
404.
expand.
Here's Trey Turner.
So 3 and 4/5.
He's got
We're
one
going to write
again.
it as 3
Trey
plus
Turner
4
turns a slider around
4
and
and 2
puts the
thirds. We're going to
Phillies
write it
in
as 4
front. His
plus 2
third hit of the game. A triple
Now
away
let's
from the
focus on
cycle
adding 3
already, and he gives the Phillies the
and 4
lead.
together.
104 off the
So
bat,
3 plus
403 feet.
is
And
7.
we told you this game coming into it, Trey
Now,
Turner
we
0 for
add
17.
these two
And now he's
fractions.
3 for 3
4 over
on
5
5
plus
pitches
2.
here in game 4.
And so what we need to do is get common
Castellanos,
denominators.
high fly ball, way back.
The common denominator between 5 and 3 is going to be
Castellanos
15.
makes it 3-1.
So this fraction, 4
Spencer
over 5,
Strider is out.
I'm going to multiply
A
it by
2-strike,
3 over 3
100 mile
to get a
an hour
common denominator
fastball.
15.
And
And the second
Castellanos
fraction, 2 over 3,
finally squares
I'm
it
going to
up.
multiply by 5
112
over 5.
off the bat. I mean, this swing was
And
perfect
so
right
4
through it.
times
Oh,
3
the 1-2
is
pitch.
12.
Is hit
And 5
hard,
times
deep
3 is
right
15.
field, and Leone
2
Taveras
times 5
takes
is 10.
Verlander deep.
And then 3 times 5 is
That
15.
time of year where names are made,
So
and how
now
about
we can
Leone
add the 2
Taveras
fractions.
out of the 9th spot, hitting a home run against Justin Verlander.
12
Fastball up,
plus
watch it
10
just click.
is
See how he
22.
dropped the
So I
barrel
have
down,
7
and he knew that
plus
was
22
connected
is 15.
swing at a pitch.
And I have
if
it
you
in
showed
proper
all the home
fractions,
runs
so
in baseball, they're going
I
to be
need
in
to
that area
do
for the
something
most
about
part.
that.
Vivaldi's 2-1.
Now,
Alvarez.
22 is the same as 15 plus 7. So we're going to expand 22 over 15 as 15
When
over
a hitter is
15
taking
is
away
7.
your fastball and you got numbers like now,
Now,
9
15
for
over
12,
15
you
is
feel
1.
lost as a pitcher.
So I'm gonna have
And he
7
tried to pitch him
plus
totally
1
different. I watched all the
plus 7
at-bats.
over
The
15.
fastball, he
And
just
7 plus 1 is 8.
crushes. This is not
So my final answer is going to
far
be 8
from where
plus
Evaldi
7
wanted
over 15.
to throw this pitch.
Simply
This is just a human
just
being.
8 and 7.
There's a fly ball to left field,
So
and
this
Jonah Heim
is the
hits it
final
out.
answer
There's
to
that
this
power you're
example.
talking about. It's not just
Now
the
let's add
singles.
5
Plenty of sack
and
in that
1/4
bat as well. And the
with
Rangers get the run
6
right back. First
and 1/2.
postseason home run for Jonah Heim,
Go
and
ahead
it's
and try that
5-1
problem.
Texas. Well, again, now that's going to cause Dusty to think
So
about
let's
his
expand. This
bullpen.
is
He's
5
hoping that his starter
plus
can get
1
locked in, but the approach the Rangers
plus
have had
6
against Valdez has been
plus 1
impressive.
2. So let's add 5 and 6 together.
Deep to left field. Alex Bregman
5 plus 6 is 9.
inside the pole for
Now we need to get common
second
denominators when
solo
adding those
shot
2
against
fractions.
Native and it's a 5-2 game.
So we don't need
this
to
pitch a
change the
splitter to
numbers.
work its way in,
But the
but
1
that
over
pitch
2,
did not work its way
we need
in,
to
and
multiply
that
that
pitch was right
by
up in the
2 over
barrel,
2.
and that is the difference between
And so
a
this
splitter that
becomes
gets
11
hit and the first
plus
one that's
1
gotten
over
hit against a
plus
Baldy
2.
today.
So now we can add
Hammers the
these
ball
2
down the
fractions together.
line. His second of
And so
the
this is
game
going to give
cuts
us
it to 1. The
11
amazing Jordan
plus 3
Alvarez with his 6th
And so
home
the
run
final
in
answer
6
is
games
11
this postseason.
3/4.
Well, it almost looked like a
So
get me
that's it
over
for
slider,
this problem.
and this was not a get me over homer. This ball
For the
was
sake of
crushed,
practice, go ahead
and
and
this
work on
guy
this example.
is a
5
one-man
and
wrecking
1/4
crew. Didn't
plus
feel well yesterday.
3
Probably didn't
and
feel as
2/5.
great today, but you can't
So
tell
let's
by his
expand.
2 home runs.
Or if you want to,
Schwarber
you
ready
can
to
just
lead off.
add these 2 numbers
Swinging,
directly.
and there
5
it
plus 3 is 8.
goes. An
So we
ambush
have
by
8,
Schwarber,
and then we need to
and
add
it's
these
1-0
2 fractions.
Phillies. Kyle
So this is gonna
Schwarber
be
with his
8
first home
plus
run of this
1 over 4
postseason has been quiet, but
plus
he's got a
2
big
over 5.
pedigree in postseasons
Now,
past, and
the
that
common
was a
denominator between
no-doubter
4
on
and
a first
5
pitch fastball
needs to be
for
12.
Schwarber in the regular season. Now
So
Harper
I'm going to
deep into
multiply
right
1 over
center,
4
and he'll watch
by
this one fly.
5 over 5.
Second
And I'm
home
going to
run of the
multiply 2
inning.
over 5
Doesn't even wait to
by
get
4 over 4.
past the pitch. 109 off the bat.
So
420 feet into right center to ring the
5
bell.
over 20.
How about that for a birthday?
And this
Just
is
turned
gonna
31 today.
8
Harper launches his fourth
So
home
now
run
I
of this
can add
postseason.
5 over 20 plus 8
Drives
over
out to
20.
right, got some heat
And
on
so
it,
that's
and this is
13 over
gonna be up and out of here.
Therefore, the final answer is 8
He's
and
on a
13
home
over
run
20.
binge. Castellanos with his 5th home run in the
Now,
last
let's work
3
on one
games
final
of this
example.
postseason. His 10-year-old son Liam,
Feel
he
free
is
to pause the
fired
video
up. He
and
sits
try
right
this
down there
so
on the
3
front
and
row.
5/7. Let's add that to 2.
Perdomo, a
and
high
8
fly
over 9.
ball into right field. Castellanos
So let's begin by
at the
adding 3
wall, and
and 2
she's
together.
gone.
3 plus 2 is 5.
Geraldo Perdomo,
And so we
a
have
big
5
2-run
plus
home run
5
here in
over
the
7
6th inning.
plus
And the
8.
D-backs have some life in
Now we need to
Philadelphia.
get common denominators. So
Bottom of
7
the order
times 9 is
strikes
63.
for Arizona.
So we're
And
going
it
to
is
multiply
now
this fraction
5-2 as Perdomo with his 2nd home run of the postseason.
by 9 over 9. And the second fraction,
Turner hits a
8 over
drive
9.
deep left center field,
7 over 7.
and the Phillies strike first again.
5 times
Trey
9
Turner,
is
a
45.
solo shot.
7 times 9 is 64.
Weapons up and
8
down
times
this
7
lineup.
is 56.
And the Philadelphia Phillies
9
now
times
with
7 is
17 homers this postseason.
So now
Turner's
we
pretty
can
good when he
add
holds on to the bat.
6
these
in a row
two
for Kelly.
fractions.
Back to the top of the order now in Schwarber. And he sends Allen to right,
So
hit
what is
deep.
45
Carroll turns, and
plus
it's
56?
gone. A line drive home run.
5 plus 6 is
Kyle
11. Carry
Schwarber
over
is
the 1.
second in as
1
many
plus 5 is
games.
6. Plus
2
4
to
is
nothing
10.
Phillies.
And so
Schwarber guy
this is going to
sprinted
give
out of
us
first base.
1
He did not think that ball
So we
was
have
going to be
5
gone, and
plus
it just
1
snuck
over-
out in
I
the
mean,
first row.
excuse me, 5 plus
Schwarber, a high
1
drive into right center.
over 63.
He's watching. It's flying. Goodbye.
Now, we have an
Schwarber
improper
strikes
fraction.
again.
So
3
need
to
to do
nothing
something.
Phillies.
Schwarber's
We're going to
so
break that
strong,
down into
guys. Threw
63
the
over
2-0
63.
changeup to
Make sure
him.
these numbers are the
First
same.
strike, doubled
Because that's
back up,
1.
and it was
And then
almost
to get
like
the
he was
missing
sitting
number,
on that pitch.
Take the difference between
This
101
one, too. It is
and
a
63.
fastball that he hammers to left center
So what's
field.
101
He
minus
is
60?
gone. Jose Altuve
1
finds it.
minus 3 is
His
a
first
negative
hit of
number,
the
so you can't do
championship
that.
series
So let's
leads
borrow
the
a 1 from the 10.
Well, perfect example
So the
of
10
what he
becomes a
does.
9,
He just
and the 1
generates power.
becomes
People
11.
just are
So we
amazed
have
at what he can
11
do.
minus 3,
That is
which
his
is 8.
25th career postseason
And then
home
9
run. He's now
minus
within
6 is
4
3.
of the all-time
So
record held by
101
Manny Ramirez.
minus 60
Here's his 1-2.
is 38.
In the air center field. Dubon's
So we're going to
going
have
back.
plus
He's on the track.
38
He's at the line.
over 63. Now 63 divided by 63 is 1. So at this
What an
point,
incredible
we
at bat there,
5
because
and 1.
fastballs away.
5 plus 1 is
for
6.
Young.
So the final
And
answer
maybe, just maybe,
is going to
that'll
be
get the Rangers
6
crowd back
and
into it,
38
because
over 60.
the Astros have completely
So
taken
that's
them
our
out.
final answer as a mix.
Hammers this ball straight away center. Dubon running out of room. Young second of the game. Single-handedly, Josh Young putting the Rangers on his back. Not dead yet. I mean, this is a strong young man, and he just got the barrel of the bat so quickly to that top of the zone. You don't want to see it as a pitcher, but you know it's going right away. 2-2 is drilled.
In this video, we're going to talk about subtracting mixed numbers and whole numbers. So let's start with this example. What is 8 and 2/3 minus 4? How can we subtract a mixed number by a whole number? In this format, it's very simple. You just need to subtract 8 by 4. And so 8 minus 4 is 4. So the answer is going to be 4
Third
and
of
2.
the postseason for Garcia.
So based on that example, go ahead and work on these two example problems.
Left center field. This game is
So the next example is
very
simply
little
going to
movement
be
with the leg, foot down, and then crushes
7
it.
minus 5.
Got to the barrel. See how perfectly
and so the
that
final
is.
answer is going to be 2 and
When you're
5.
underneath,
And for the last example, we just got
that's
to
why we saw
subtract
all the
9
fly ball
by
pop-ups
3.
for outs.
And 9 minus 3 is 6.
Adjustment made
So
and
final
game
answer will be
tied.
6.
3-3 in the third. Zay Abreu.
And so that's how you can subtract a mixed number
Hammered the left center
by
field.
a whole
Way
number.
back there. It is
Now, what if we wanted to subtract a whole number by a mixed number?
You see this
What
pitch.
do we need to do
You
in this
see where
example?
he wants it right there.
So what
right?
is
Trying
7
to get it in.
minus 3 and 1
Trying to get it in, but that pitch ends up
So what you need
right
to do
down the
is
middle. And that's the difference between a
break down the mixed number.
massive 3-run homer
This is
and a
equivalent to
game now
7
with a 4-run lead.
minus 3 plus 1.
Fly ball left center field. Carter on the move. He's at the
Now let's
track. He's
distribute
at
the
the
negative
line.
sign. So we have 7
minus 3
minus 1.
Launching a 2-run home run of his own.
Now we need to borrow
And it
1
is
from 7.
9-3 Houston.
So we're gonna write
right
7.
at their average in this
We're
ballpark.
going to change it as 6 plus 1.
He's hit a couple balls hard, had nothing to show for it. Well,
Now we're going to go ahead and
3-2
combine
pitch.
6
Schwarber a drive into
negative
right field.
6
Way back
minus 3
there. So
is 3.
long. Kyle
Now the 1,
Schwarber. His
I'm going
fourth
to
home
replace that
run
with
of
4
this
divided by 4
NLCS.
because 4 over 4
And
is
it
1.
took no time
And
getting
now,
out of here.
I can
Don't
combine
pitch against
these
him
2 fractions.
in any LCSs.
His 19th
So 4
career
over 4
postseason
minus
home
1
run.
over
That is
4
the most all
is
time
3 over 4.
by a left-handed hitter.
And
He
3
just passed
plus 3
Reggie
over 4
Jackson.
is
An
3
absolute
and 3/4
missile. He
as a
deals.
mixed number.
Thomas in the
So
air to
this
right field. That's
is the
back.
final answer for
Castellanos on the
that
run.
example. And that's how you can subtract a whole number by a mixed number.
Alec Thomas takes the ride of his life.
Let's go ahead and work on another example.
Fastball right over
8
the middle, running away
minus
just
4
a little.
and
4-12,
2/5.
104 off the bat.
For the sake of
And I'm
practice,
guessing
you
Torey
can pause
Lavallo
the
might
video
have
and
just
try
told him, hit me a home run.
He packed some punch.
So let's write it
He and
as
Carroll
8
slightly
minus
built,
4
but they can really
plus 2
send
5.
it.
He had a 2-run
And let's
triple
go
to get
ahead
the
and
scoring
distribute
started for the
negative
Astros yesterday.
At the same time,
It's a fly
I'm
ball
going to
left field.
replace
Back
8
goes Carter on the track.
with
At the
7
line.
plus 1.
Goodbye. Alex Bregman
So I have
gets
7
the
plus
Astros
1,
on the
and then
board.
minus
A
4
first-inning home run.
minus 2
I honestly
over
think
5.
this was a game plan Bregman had
So
coming
now I'm
in.
gonna
He
combine
pounded
the
him
7
in the first game.
and
Now
the
he didn't
negative
get it
4.
all the way in. If Bregman looks at his
So
videos, which
7
I'm sure he
minus 4
does,
is
he's like,
3. So
this
I have
guy's
3
I'm going to get in. I
plus
got to do
1
something with it and
minus 2.
change the mindset of how they pitched him. It was missed a
Now,
couple
let's turn the 1
fastballs
into a
in the
fraction.
zone. He gets to this
So
one.
it seems that the denominator is 5. So we're going to make the 1 5 over 5.
Who has looked lost and came
5
up empty
over
on
5 is 1,
fastballs in the
and
middle of the
this
zone,
allows us to
catches
get
up to
common
this one
denominators.
and ties the game.
So now
Nathaniel
let's
Lowe, his struggles really go back to the
these
last
2
month of the
fractions.
regular season. A guy that was a silver slugger last year just was not the same this season.
5
Spread over
over
into
5
the postseason.
minus 2 over 5.
But his biggest swing yet
is
is tied
3.
game 5. First and third, one
So
out.
our final
Adolis
answer is 3 and 3/5.
Deep left center field. McCormick to the track. At the wall. It is.
For the sake of practice, go ahead and work on these 2 last examples.
The ball
Find the
down
value
is the
of
pitch
9
that a hitter can get
minus
to
2
in a big
and
swing.
3/8.
It's supposed to be
also
up,
8
and it's inner
minus 3
third.
and
He could get
1/7.
his hands down to that ball, and he was short to it.
So
This
we're going to
crowd, for the
change
first
9
time, has felt like they have a
into
chance
8 and
to
1.
win a game at home. The 0-1. High fly ball to deep left field.
And then
To the wall.
we're going to expand the mixed number as a whole number and a fraction.
Astros lead in the
So now let's go ahead and
This team
distribute the
just
negative sign.
refuses to roll over.
So
And
I
of
have 8
course, it's Jose
plus
Altuve, the face of
minus
the
2
franchise, the
minus
face
3
of this
over
run that takes a 4-2
So now
ninth
let's
inning
go ahead and
deficit in
combine
this
8
all-important game
and
5
-2.
and
So
turns
8
it around
minus 2,
with a
that's
3-run
6.
home run.
Allen has settled
now
in. He's
change the
retired
1
11 straight.
into a fraction
High
with
drive.
an 8.
Way back.
So it's going to be
Right field.
8
Schwarber
over 8.
does it
Then we have
again.
minus 3 over 8.
An absolute bomb out of
So now
here.
let's subtract these 2
Kyle
fractions.
Schwarber, his 5th home run of this
8 over 8
championship
minus 3
series.
over 8. That's going to
Makes
be
it
5
3-0
over 8.
Phillies.
So the final answer
Incredible
is 6
power
and 5
off the bat of Kyle Schwarber.
And that's it for
Harper,
this part.
another drive.
Now let's move on to the
How
last one.
far will it fly?
So this is going to be 8 minus
Schwarber and
3
Harper
plus
do it again.
1 over 7.
4-0 Phillies.
Now, let's go ahead
Bryce
and expand
Harper
the
homers
8.
off
So let's
Gallen
write it as
again.
7 plus 1.
I mean, it's like these guys are trying to outdo each other.
And then let's
Whatever you
distribute
can do, I can
the
do
negative
better.
sign.
The Schwarber's going to tell him.
So let's combine 7
Good try.
with
Wheeler back to work,
negative 3.
facing Alec Thomas,
So
who
7
started in a
minus 3,
drive into
that's
right
4.
field.
And then we
Thomas
can
will
change
send this
the
one
1
out of here.
into 7
He's done
7.
it again. Alec Thomas
So now
puts
7
the
over 7
Diamondbacks on the board
minus
for
1
the
over
first
7.
time.
That's going to
His 4th home
6
run
over
of the
7.
postseason.
So the final answer is
103 off the
4
bat,
and
399.
6
Crowd's buzzing now.
And so now you know how to subtract
Real
a
Muto,
mixed
high
number
fly ball deep
by
into
a
left field. This is
In my
way
next
back
video,
there.
I'm going to show you how to subtract a mixed number
JT Real
by a
Muto.
fraction. So feel free to take a look at that, and I'm going to post the link in the description section of this video, so you can access that other video. Thanks for watching.
As the all-star catcher delivers a big blow here in Game 5.
Mitch Garver swings at the first one that he sees, sends it the other way and deep. On the first pitch of the inning, he hits it out and ties the game. Mitch Garver with an ambush of Valdez, and it's 1-1 just like that.
Had a game plan, and there's the first Ranger. Remember I said who's going to go to right center, center to right center, and he got rewarded with a home run. I don't know if there'll be a carryover effect, but that's a great sign and a much-needed run.
Everybody tidy up, tidy sweet, tidy clean, tidy up. Everybody, yeah, you know what I mean.
Tucker's going back towards the
Tidy up, tidy up, tidy up. Everyone tidy up, everybody till the tidying's done.
It's gone! Just over the glove of Tucker.
And so, the Titans did their chores at the top of the mountain. And when they were done, they went down and tidied up the goat herder's farm too.
Tidy up, tidy up. Come on, everybody tidy up. Tidy up, tidy up. Come on, everybody tidy up. Everybody tidy up, tidy sweet, tidy clean, tidy up. Everybody, yeah, you know what I mean. Tidy up, tidy up, tidy up. Everyone tidy up, everybody till the tidying's done.
That's more like it. All of our chores are done. What do we do now? You heard the goat. Let's play!